Hey, hello, hello, hello. I think we're live. Are we live? I think we're live. I'm so excited. I'm Gabby from Go Natural English, and I want to make sure that everybody can see and hear our very special English Power Pack live cast. So I see a lot of people in the chat box already. So I'm going to say hello. And please tell me if you can hear me, because I want to do a tech check to make sure that our technology is working. Hello, hello, nice to see everyone. I'm looking at you on my smartphone here in the chat box. It's so exciting to see so many people here. Wonderful. Okay, I see yes, hello. Yes, we can hear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Excellent. Okay, great. Now, I want to make sure that our English Power Pack teachers can join us. I'm going to give a quick introduction. We're going to talk about what is the English Power Pack. You're going to meet your teachers, and you're going to see some samples of the courses. We're going to talk about that. We're going to share our best English tips for improving your English fluency here. And we'll have time for question and answer, a little bit at least. So let me just check in and see if our teachers are here. Give me 1 second. Great, so they're on their way. All right, so our teachers are on their way, and I'd like to give you a warm welcome. I'm so excited to be here. I am so happy to see so many of you, our amazing English language learners here. Welcome. I want to give a strong, heartfelt welcome to everyone who is here for our English Power Pack live cast. This is super exciting because for so long, for a long time, the number one question that I've gotten as an online English teacher is, how can I become fluent in English? And the next most popular question I've gotten is, how can I practice English? How can I improve my English fluency by practicing more, right? Because we can become fluent by practicing, but how do we practice? And so that's why I reached out and I asked my English teacher friends for a favor. I said, would you please help us? Let's do something special. Let's do something really special for our English language learner friends. And that's how the English Power Pack got started. So I am really honored to be in great company today with 6 other amazing online English teachers who are going to be joining us in just a moment. And you're going to meet some of the best, most popular English language teachers here online today. And they're going to give you some of their best tips. So what is the English Power Pack? If you have visited EnglishPowerPack.com, then you'll know a little bit already. But if you're new here, if you're not sure what is this thing called the English Power Pack, then let me tell you. The English Power Pack is a special event that only happens for 7 days. 7 is kind of a lucky number for us. 7 days. It started today and it ends on December 4th. It's 7 teachers. And each time that we do the English Power Pack, this is the 3rd time, each time it changes a little bit. And new teachers join us. And some of the teachers who have joined us for the first and the second English Power Pack have joined us for the third one. But this time we have 7 amazing teachers, 7 days, and 7 courses. The courses are all new, all different. So you're getting 7 days, 7 teachers, 7 courses, and it's a really special event because we're doing this at 80% off to provide an awesome value for English language learners to get a ton of materials to practice with to improve their fluency. And we are giving 10% of any profit we get to an educational charity called Pencils of Promise. So I'm honored and I feel very happy to be able to give back in that way. So let me pause for just a moment and check in on our teachers. One moment. You can write your questions in the chat box. Oh, I see we have, wow, a lot of people watching. This is exciting. All right, give me one moment to check in with our teachers here. You can post your questions now and then we'll get to them at the end of the presentation here. Our presentation or our party is going to be 1 hour. So we're going to cover a lot in 1 hour. And if you have questions about English fluency, if you have questions about our teachers, if you have questions about the courses in the English Power Pack 3, then you can go ahead and post those in the chat box. If you are watching this, make sure that you're watching on the official English Power Pack livecast event page at englishpowerpack.com/live. That's where the party is happening. That's where we're having the chat box. If you're anywhere else, you should be on the English Power Pack website. Awesome. I see a lot of people are here already. You can share this link with your friends right now. If you have friends who are learning English or are interested in improving their English fluency, then you can share this link to watch our livecast party live and to participate with us in the chat box. So I'm so excited to get started. We're just waiting to connect our teachers here. Oh, I see some familiar faces in the chat box. All right, bear with me as I work through some technical issues to make sure that everyone can join us. Yeah, if you're watching and you have any problem watching the live cast party or joining us in the chat box, just refresh the page. Okay. Oh, so we have a technical problem. I have to figure out how to invite our teachers to join us in the live event here. So hang on, don't go anywhere.
Hey, Gabby.
Shayna! Hey, it's so good to see you.
Yeah, you too. I just got the link to join, and I'm really excited to see like more than 200 people in the chat.
It's amazing. Oh, I'm so excited. This is great. I was just explaining that I was having some technical issues, but now it looks like people are coming. Yay, Kevin's here. Hello, hello. Kevin, are you there?
We were actually all in a different chat, so I think we were in the wrong place.
Okay. Oops. We'll get everyone rounded up here.
A good lesson for the learners that mistakes are part of the process, right? We can learn from them.
I know. I'm so embarrassed.
I just sent a link, this different link to the rest of the group, so hopefully we'll
Thank
be
you.
meeting up here. Let's see let's see if that works.
We'll make it work. Thank you. There's Michael.
Gabby, hi.
Hey, welcome. Sorry about the mix-up. I'm so glad to see you guys here.
Hi.
Awesome. 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 All right, we have so many people watching our live cast party. I'm so excited. Hey, Lindsay, welcome.
Hey.
So good to have you here. Welcome. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, so let's jump right in. I'm so excited. I'm like screaming right now. I want to have everybody have a chance to introduce themselves because I know some of our English Power Pack party audience probably is familiar with you, but some of them may be new. So I'd love to talk a little bit about who you all are and have you introduce yourselves and how you teach English online. So I'll jump in last, but I'd love for you guys to jump right in. And hey, Jason, you're here. How's it going?
Good. How's it going?
Good, good, good. I'm so excited. So excited to have you guys here. So we have almost everybody here. So let's get started with our introduction so that we can say hi to everyone who is watching. So Shayna, do you want to introduce yourself first?
I will get started. My name's Shayna. I'm originally from the United States, but I spent a long time living in Brazil, which is where I started teaching English. And now I teach English online through my website, Espresso English, where you can get short and sweet lessons.
I love it. I see some of your followers in the chat box saying, hey, Shayna, I've been following you on Espresso English. I'm very grateful for your help. So your learners love you.
Awesome. I'm glad to see some of my most dedicated students here.
Yeah, that's great. Well, jump in, you guys. It's a party. I'm not going to call on you. You can jump right in.
Cool. Name's Kevin. I am from Feel Good English. I do the Feel Good English podcast, a weekly podcast to help you improve your English and also improve your life through lessons based on personal development, business management, and things like that. So feelgoodenglish.com has been around about not quite a year, about the beginning of the year. So about 10 months I've been around online with Feel Good English.
It's a great podcast, and I really appreciate it. I had the chance to be on your podcast, and I love what you're doing there for English learners.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Where are you from, Kevin?
Oh, yeah, I am from Denver. I currently live in Denver, in Colorado. And I spent several years in Brazil as well, like Shayna. That's where I started English teaching. I lived in a town outside of Sao Paulo. Been back in the U.S. for about a year. I speak Portuguese. I have a lot of Brazilian listeners. And now the podcast is also growing, kind of spreading more so around the world. So more of an international audience these days.
That's great. And I just want to mention for people viewing, if you're having trouble getting into the chat box, there is a limit in the chat box of 250 people. So I'm amazed that there's so many people in the chat box already. And that I hope that we all get a chance to chat in there. But yeah, there's a lot of people. So just keep trying. If you can't get in right away, keep trying. Maybe you can jump in there. And also Lane, our Go Natural English assistant, is there answering questions in the chat box. So if we don't answer your question, like talking about it, then she'll be there to help you as well. All right, so let's continue with introductions.
Hey, hello. My name's Lindsay and I run the business Lindsay Does Languages, where I teach English, not only English, but I also teach French and Spanish. And I aim to inspire language learning and teaching online in general as well. So I began teaching English in 2008. I started Lindsay Does Languages in 2012, and then I really kind of moved online with that in 2014. So yeah, that's me, that's where I am.
That's awesome. Lindsay, where are you from?
I'm from the UK, so I think all of you are from the US, right?
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have you for a different sound, because it's so important to be able to understand everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to represent.
Yeah, represent. Awesome.
All right, I'll jump in. I'm Michael from Happy English in New York. Let's see, I've been teaching English since 1994. Oh my God. And I started teaching in Japan, in Sendai. That's the north part of Japan. Anybody there remember me? And I started Happy English here in New York in 2010. So it's 6 years. And I teach students here in my little office here in New York and also online. And yeah, I'm just so happy to be here with all these amazing other English teachers. And Gabby, thanks for putting this all together. This is a fun event.
Pleasure. Yeah, I've actually been to your office. I can confirm that it's real. I can confirm that Michael's a real person. I can confirm Shayna's a real person. I've met her in person. Now you other guys, I'm not sure if you're real or not, but.
My name is Jason R. Levine. I also go by Fluency MC, and I try to keep it real as much as possible. But yeah, Gabby, never met you in person. Hope to have the pleasure. Same goes for the rest of you great teachers. I make songs and videos for English learners as Fluency MC. That's the main thing I do. I also teach online. I have speaking practice program called the Weekly English Workout. I also do a lot of teacher training, both online and on the ground. And the other thing I do is I go to schools, mainly middle schools and high schools, to do big student workshops based on the songs and the videos I make.
That's amazing.
And I live in Paris, but I started teaching almost as long ago as Mike. I started in 1998 in New York City and taught in New York for many years, and moved to Paris 3 years ago.
That's amazing. I always see you traveling all over, bringing your English fluency and rhyme on time and all of your good work. That's really cool.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying these days to stick closer to home, easier on the family that way. So fortunately, I've been finding work in schools in Paris and around France. So.
That's great. Yeah, and in the chat box, if you guys want to tell us where you are from, we would love to know. I always get excited when I see all these different cities and countries that you guys are watching from. So if you're watching, type in your city or your country right now. We'd love to see that. And I see Todd. Todd, are you there?
Hi.
Hey, how are you? You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. Sorry if I got here a little bit late. Yeah, my name's Todd, and I have a site called Ello, and I live in Japan, and now it's early morning.
Very early. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, and yeah, so I have a site called Ello, and I just interview people from around the world, and I've interviewed over about 400 people from 100 different countries, and I'm an English teacher.
Yeah, it's so good to have you with us here. I have to admit that I'm a big long-term fan of you guys. I mean, of everyone here. I'm just honored that, you know, to be in good company. And also in the chat box, if you guys are familiar with our teachers who are part of the English Power Pack, you can give a shout out, or you can say hello to the teachers that you want to say hello to, or all of us. But that would be great to see your comments about your teachers that you've been following. So now I really want to give us a chance to talk about the 7 courses that are part of the English Power Pack. I explained a little bit in the beginning of the livecast chat about how there's 7 teachers, 7 different courses, and 7 days to the English Power Pack. It's like lucky number 7. I don't know if in every country if 7 is a lucky number, but in the United States it definitely is. So I feel very lucky. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the popular courses that you guys have contributed to the English Power Pack. And oh my gosh, I didn't introduce myself before we jump into that. Hi, I'm Gabby. I run Go Natural English. I've kind of organized the English Power Pack along with a lot of help from Lane, who is my right-hand woman at Go Natural English. Right-hand woman means she helps me out a lot. We usually say right-hand man, but she's not a man, so I can't say that. So yeah, I've been teaching for, gosh, about 10 or 15 years now, and about 5 years online. And I love to travel, and I love to help intermediate and advanced learners to improve their confidence and fluency. So now let's jump into what you guys are contributing to the English Power Pack. Jump in there, guys. Tell us about your course.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
So the course that I've contributed to the English Power Pack is called Mastering English Phrasal Verbs Through Story. And this was the very first course that I created for English learners because it was something I always loved to teach. So I figured, what do I want to make a course about that I can teach lots and lots of people with? And this was the topic. Now, why the through story? Well, I figured that phrasal verbs so often are just taught with a long list. And this isn't necessarily the best way. So context is really, really helpful when you're learning these things that maybe don't look that familiar to you. Phrasal verbs, right? So there are 44 short stories, and you've got 4 people that you'll meet in these stories. That's Mark, John, Tina, and Hannah. Their stories might just intertwine as you get towards the end of the course. And these 44 short stories, each one focuses on a particular verb with lots of phrasal verbs attached to that verb. For example, go, and then you've got go after, go out, go in, etc., etc. And so, yeah, you get video in this course. You've got transcripts of those videos as well, so you can use it as a text and audio. You also get the MP3 audio as well, so if you prefer to learn on the go, you can do that. You've also got a quiz with each lesson, and there's also some notes. There's a kind of a list and explanations of each one with a worksheet and a chance for you to write your own stories and post them in the Facebook group. So you can get corrections, you can share them with other learners on the course. And there's one more thing that I've missed.
Oh,
there's so much good stuff.
I also wanted to ask, along with talking about your courses, if you could give one quick tip for our viewers to take away, maybe something related to phrasal verbs or just a favorite tip that you like to tell your learners.
I think that whatever language you're learning, you have to find something that you love, whether that is a music band, whether that's a film or a book or a TV show, just something about the kind of the culture or the language that you really, really engage with and enjoy, and that will help to keep you motivated, because there's nothing worse than, you know, feeling really inspired and then just losing that motivation. So my one tip would be to find something that you love in English.
Love it.
I'll jump in. Okay, so the course I'm contributing to the Power Pack is called Advanced English Grammar. Now, when a lot of English students think about grammar, they think about rules and really boring textbooks, right? And what I try to do in this course is I try to make grammar clear and also very practical, because the point of grammar isn't to just memorize rules. Just like Lindsay said, the point of phrasal verbs is not to memorize a list. It's to use it, right? Because grammar is the structure of our language. When we're speaking right now, we're using grammar. I just used the present continuous. We're speaking. And so the point of advanced English grammar is not only to help you really understand grammar, but to put it into practice. And so I include a lot of really concrete examples, clear and practical examples. And there are exercises where, similar to like what Lindsay said, where you can write your own story, I have exercises in the course where you can write your own text or story. Like if we're studying the past, I'll ask you to write about your own past or some interesting memories. And so it's a great way to not just have grammar as this abstract set of rules, but really use it in your own English. And so this is actually one of my biggest courses at Espresso English. Students love grammar, and a lot of students love that they can put it into practice. So that's the course that's inside the Power Pack. I hope you guys will enjoy it.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Shayna. That's awesome.
I'll go next. The course that I'm offering with the English Power Pack is called the Weekly English Workout with Fluency MC. It's an abbreviated version of a bigger course. In the course I'm offering, you get a whole bunch of videos I made and MP3s and practice exercises. The focus is on practice. I'm going to come back to that in a second. What's not included, but you can definitely get if you like what you get in the Power Pack, is membership in the Facebook group and weekly live lessons with me, which we do every week in the Weekly English Workout. And the reason I made this course, and the reason I definitely wanted to contribute this one with the English Power Pack, is the importance that I think we need to put on practice. And I want to distinguish between studying English, practicing English, and using English. So using English is what we all want to be able to do. But so often, you guys out there are studying the language and then feeling depressed and unmotivated when you can't use it with accuracy and fluency. But actually what's happening most of the time is you're not getting enough exposure, repetition with those expressions you want to use, with those grammar structures, with the vocabulary. So memorizing lists doesn't work, but also trying to study how the language works and then thinking you're going to use it doesn't work. Really need to get a lot of repetition, but here's the problem. If it's boring, you won't do it. So how can you repeat things in an engaging way so you're motivated and so that language sticks, so that when you're in a situation using English, you can use it the way you want and then you feel better and you keep going. So that's what these videos are all about and the exercises that go with them, and glad to be part of this group, and I hope you enjoy it.
That's amazing. Yes, I love that. And I just wanted to make sure everybody knows, as Shayna put in the chat box, if you are on the English Power Pack website and you want to see samples of these courses that we're talking about, you can, let me see if I can do this and show you at the same time. You can click on the menu and then go to samples. That might be backwards for you right now, but click on samples, and then you can scroll down and you can take a look at a little part of each of our courses. Everyone here has organized a sample of the course. So on the samples page, it's just a small sample of each course, but at least you can get a really clear idea of what you're getting inside the full English Power Pack when you can download those courses, a bigger part of the course or the full course. You can see in the description if it's the full course or, as Jason said, the part of the course. But you're getting a lot of value in the English Power Pack, and it's really cool to be able to see a little part of each course. There's Shayna's advanced grammar course you can take a look at, and all of them have a little sample you can check out right now. All right, let's keep going.
All right, I'll jump in.
Oh. Go ahead, Michael. You first, sir.
Michael, you won. You were first.
I got the rock paper scissors. So I'm gonna start out with my tip, and so my tip is, if you want to work on fluency, but perhaps you don't have anybody to practice with, when I first started to learn Japanese a long time ago, and I was living in Japan, what did I do? I just talked to myself. And you might think, oh, crazy guy talking to himself. But, you know, I had little signs all over my apartment written in Japanese, and I would wake up in the morning and I would say, oh, I'm washing my face, I'm washing my face, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm brushing my teeth. Then when I went to the grocery store, I would go shopping and I would be thinking in that language, oh, what do I need today? Oh, I need eggs. Oh, there are eggs. Eggs are on sale. So thinking in English, and if you're by yourself and you want to make those thoughts actual sounds that come out of your mouth, that's awesome fluency practice. Otherwise, if you happen to be in New York and you want to walk down the street and just talk to yourself, there's plenty of people here, and Gabby can attest to that since she's living here now. There's plenty of people in New York who just walk around talking to themselves. It's okay, and at least it's a chance to have output, and that's what you really need. So, you know, the language has a, you know, input, reading and listening, output, speaking and writing, and so you got to get it out. If it comes out of your mouth, you'll remember it, and it'll be yours forever. So that's my language tip. And the course that I've contributed to the Power Pack is it's my 75 confusing words course. It has 35 video lectures. It's got MP3s. It has downloadable books that you can use as reference. And these are words that a lot of language learners have trouble with because, for example, doubt, I have a doubt, I have a question. Like those two sentences and those two words, doubt and question, in some languages translate to only one word in that language. So people get confused between that. Or things like by and until, or finally, or in the end, or in time and on time. So there are these little pairs of words that can be very confusing, and that's what's in the course. And I hope you like it, and I'm glad to be here.
That's great. Thank you so much, Michael. And I want to encourage you, if you're in the chat box, if you have any specific questions that you want to ask each of our teachers here, let us know. We just have about less than 30 minutes left in the live cast, so get all your questions out if you have them. All right, so Kevin and Todd, Kevin, I guess you would be next. You want to talk about the Feel Good English Pack, the Super Pack?
Super Pack. So this is content based on my podcast. What it is I took most of the episodes that I've produced so far. There's about 75, and in the Super Pack you get 70 of the audio lessons, which are the podcast, and they're downloadable, and 70 transcripts. So you can read, after you listen, you can read the audio as well. Content that you can take with you. It's not really a course, but it's content that you can put in your phone, and then just take it with you during your day so you can do a lot of listening. This content will be best for English learners out there that need a little more motivation, that need a little more energy behind their learning, and also that might struggle with being able to use English. And if we don't use it out and actually communicate with people, you'll have a problem. So this will give you some good tips on how to do that. And speaking of tips, I think my language tip for you today is, if you're out there and you feel uncomfortable and you're nervous with English and you get scared when you have to speak English, that's exactly where you should be, because that means you are growing with your English. Without those feelings, you won't be improving. So accept those feelings, find situations where you do feel that way, and just keep pushing forward, because you will get more confident, more comfortable, the more that you put yourself in those situations. So don't resist those situations. Find those situations. Be grateful for those situations and dive right into those situations and watch your English naturally get better. So you'll hear a lot of this stuff in the podcast. The transcripts, reading and listening should be a lot of what you're doing, and then practicing as well. But you'll hear more about that in some of the lessons there. So that's the Feel Good English Super Pack.
That's great. Thank you, Kevin. That's awesome. All right. Todd, you want to go ahead and give us a tip and talk about your course as part of the English Power Pack?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to. First of all, the tip, I guess, would be, it really helps to listen to a lot of unscripted language. So ELLA, which stands for English Listening Lesson Library Online, all the lessons are unscripted, which means like what we're doing now, people just talk and then we transcribe what they said. So we don't write it first and then record it. And it's good to have a balance of both. And usually in most textbooks, it's the opposite. They write it and then they record it. So it really helps if you can hear a lot of language or English where people just talk and then later you write it down and see, oh, what exactly did they say? And so in the course that we have, there's 180 lessons and it starts from beginner and it goes up to advanced. And each lesson is about 3 minutes long, and it's all just unscripted English. And you can hear people from around the world, and it's really good to hear how people talk when they're not reading lines, and you kind of get a balance of both. And also, we break it down in the word level. Each lesson has usually 5 to 6 words, and it's a really small bit, and we'll say the word like 5 or 6 times and give you 3 examples. And you can hear the pronunciation of the word clearly and how it's used in a sentence. So we really try to help the students in the long term by having lots of lessons, but also in the immediate term so they can learn 5 words for each time they do a listening assignment.
That's wonderful. That's great. Thank you, Todd. Yeah, I can see a pattern that we're all really helping English learners when they want fluency and they don't just want to, like you guys don't want to learn just one word at a time because then you go and you want to say a sentence and it's like, oh, what do I do? So that's really my tip is I want to encourage you to learn phrases, learn 2 or 3 words together or a whole phrase that you'll use in a specific situation and not just memorize 1 word at a time because we rarely speak in just 1 word segments unless it's yes, no, okay, bye. It's not much of a conversation. So I contributed the Travel English Expert course, which is all conversations done by myself and another native speaker that have something to do with travel. So going to get a ticket or going through immigration or being on an airplane, ordering food or asking for directions are also included. And so there's a lot of listening and there's also transcripts of all the conversations and a comprehension check so you can make sure that you're understanding and following along with those conversations. So if you're planning to travel, if you would like to travel someday and feel confident with your English skills, I think it's a really good course that you can take as part of the English Power Pack. So I want to open it up to questions. Maybe some of us have been getting some frequent questions, some questions from people who you've let know about the English Power Pack. I know I've gotten a lot of questions and if you guys want to address some of your questions here, either from the chat box or if you've been getting some interesting questions by email, if you guys want to talk about those, I think now would be a great time. And I know, Shayna, you have to go a little bit early, but maybe if you want to start, if there's a question that you've been getting about the English Power Pack to let people know, to kind of clarify one of those questions, that would be great. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to grab just 2 of them, actually. One I saw a couple times in the chat was, do the courses only last 7 days or, you only have 7 days opportunity? So let me try and explain that a little bit better. The sale is for 7 days. So 7 days is the opportunity you have to buy it. After those 7 days, it's not available. But after you buy it, you can download everything. So that means you can keep the lessons forever. You can take your time going through them, right? Because it's a lot of lessons. It's like hundreds and hundreds of English lessons. So it's going to take you a few months to get through all of those lessons. So you have 7 days to buy it, but after you buy it, then you keep the lessons forever and you can study them at your own pace. And the other question I saw come up a couple of times is, what's the best order to take them in, or kind of do they go in levels from beginner to advanced? And I think that we actually answer that question about order on the FAQ page. That stands for frequently asked questions. And but the other thing I would just say about that is this is good for like intermediate level learners. And so if you can understand us and you follow us and you can understand our normal lessons, then you'll be great with the English Power Pack. But I would encourage people not to think about that there's a specific way and order you have to learn English, because the language doesn't work that way. It's not like you must learn A before you learn B. You know, all of this input is going to be helpful. And since we all have a different angle, it almost doesn't matter what order you take them in, because everything is going to help you in a different area. So those are my tips for, I guess, getting the most out of the English Power Pack. And hopefully I answered some questions that might have come up.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks for clarifying that. I think that's really important to know that, like you said, you have 7 days to buy, but then you can keep these courses. You can download them, you can use them, take your time, study them, use them as fast or as slowly as you like. So that was really important. Thanks, Shayna. Yeah, how about Michael, do you want to address a question that you see out there or something that you've gotten in your email recently?
I'm thinking hard. Somebody just put a question. Could we share our YouTube channels?
Oh, sure.
There's a link on the page here. I think it's the what's in the pack or the about page that has little information about all the teachers that are here. And there's a link there to our websites, and you can kind of click that and then click to our. I think everybody has a YouTube channel these days.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. On, as you said, about the teachers, there's links to websites, and you know, if you I guess search for My Happy English and YouTube, you could find it very easily. So yeah, so I think everyone has a YouTube channel. Yeah, some have a podcast as well. Everybody's creating a lot of good stuff.
And that's an interesting thing here, like. Shana just said, there's so much material. There's literally months and months and months of material in this one package, and I think that's amazing. If I was learning, I wish there was a package like this to learn Japanese with.
Right? Yeah. What other questions do you guys see? I'll just let you guys jump in. I don't want to surprise anyone calling on you like the mean teacher. You!
So I just saw a question. It's a good question here. Let me find it. See if I can find it real quick. Somebody asked, we all have good website already. Oh, here. Now all of you have many material on their website, and why is it necessary for buying it all together? So specifically for all of these products, but you can get my product on my website and probably some of the other products on other people's websites. But the whole package is you get all of these courses and this product for a much lower price because we put them together, big discount. So you get all of these products, and then you can also find things that you really like between all of these different courses. So you're getting a lot of content from all of us from our websites, maybe not from the website, but discount. So that's the purpose of this, to help you guys learn more and to have a lot of good content without buying each course individually, because you're going to spend a lot more money if you do it that way. So hope that clears that up.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And culturally, I don't know if you have this in every country, but today is Cyber Monday. So you kind of expect to have some interesting sales. And so we wanted to come together and offer a really great value for our English language learners. And also, this is a good opportunity for us to give back, because part of the profits are going to an educational charity, because as teachers, we really value education and we want to give back to those in need as well. So I'm really proud we can do that.
I just want to share something about mastering English phrasal verbs through story. So I think everything else when you buy, it's all downloadable, am I right? get
Except
everything?
for the weekly English workout and your course.
Okay,
are
so
long. Yeah.
so with Mastering English Phrasal Verbs Through Story, when you buy, you'll get a PDF, and this explains what to do to join the course. Because if I tried to give you this course, your computer would go crazy because there's lots of video stuff, and so I didn't want you to have to download everything. So yeah, just wanted to let you know that you'll have to join the course, but it's very, very easy, and it explains everything when you join.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for explaining that.
I have a similar kind of clarification to make. So the weekly English workout is an online program on my site, but there also are some downloads, so it's kind of a combination. So once you get in there, you'll see you can do stuff on the go with MP3s of things that are there, but the videos live on the site. And unfortunately, we made a mistake, and we did not have a live link in the PDF that you get to join, but we're working with Gabby to get the right one up there. We've managed to add everybody manually today, which is no big deal at all. So we're getting emails saying that the link wasn't working. It should be working soon, but even if it's not, just email within a couple of minutes. We'll send you the live link, and you can get enrolled.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying that. Yeah, we'll get that taken care of, so it'll be easy for everyone to join with one click, and it'll be super easy. So awesome. Cool. Yeah. What other questions have you guys been getting that you want to talk about? Oops.
I'll go. The question I get probably the most, especially in terms of listening, is people will say, "How long? How long will it take?" Or "Where do I start?" By the way, is my audio okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, I didn't know if it was an echo, sorry. So, it's kind of a tough question because it depends on your level, it depends on your language, it depends on how much you're going to study, it depends on the type of instruction you had in school before. But usually, what I tell students is, learning English is a lifelong process. Learning any language is a lifelong process. And what you want to do is when you approach it, you're going to, if you study, and then once you start doing any course or anything, you're going to have considerable improvement over a short period of time. And that's really what you want. Like, there really is no end game. You're not going to suddenly be, master English and be fluent in 7 days and never have to learn again. It just doesn't happen. It's kind of a lifelong process. And so it's the courses, we try to design it for all levels, at least the one, the listening course for all levels. And usually, if you just give it time and you're going to see big improvement, but, it might take a while. That's the only thing I would want to add, at least in terms of listening.
Yeah, that's a good point. I really like that. It's kind of like working out. I mean, if you go to the gym and you work out really hard for a week, that's great, but you kind of have to keep going to the gym, especially after Thanksgiving. Like, I'm sure we all ate a lot, so you have to keep it up. I just want to mention before we continue with frequently asked questions, we've gotten some really great reviews from people who have already bought the English Power Pack. And maybe if you guys can see my screen, I saw some really great ones already on Facebook. You can see I bought the EPP1, and I think it's really great. I'm going to buy the EPP3. English Power Pack is a great set of courses that really make a difference in my life. That's amazing. I get so happy seeing that we're making a difference. And wow, Surya, who bought the EPP1 and 2 and is going to buy number 3. Sergey says, I think you should use the Power Pack. Thank you, Sergey. That's awesome. And good for easy accessing, so easy to download, easy to use, and a couple of other 5-star reviews. So I am just really happy to see those. We've had really, really great reviews of the English Power Pack, and I'm sure more are coming. And actually, that reminds me of a question that I've seen a few times. Is this English Power Pack, the English Power Pack 3, is it the same as the English Power Pack 1 and 2? No, it is not. It is completely different. And that's what makes it really special. It's only available for 7 days with these 7 courses. So although this is the third time we've offered the English Power Pack, every time it's different. There's a different version. So the first time we had different teachers and different courses. Some of the teachers are the same, but the courses are all different. The second English Power Pack, different new teachers, different courses. And now the third time, it's just as awesome. Maybe, you know, awesomer, if that's a word, but every time is awesome. But different courses, different teachers, and this version will end in 7 days, right? As Shayna said, you can buy it, you can download it, you can keep it, but you will not be able to buy this version ever again. You know, if we do an English Power Pack 4, it would be with different courses. Hopefully some of the same teachers, maybe some new teachers, but always different courses. So I hope to clear that point up. Yeah, what other questions, if any, do you guys want to address? Anything else? Any other interesting questions in the chat box? Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, if there's no other specific questions that you guys want to jump in to answer, then I just will ask you if you want to have any, you know, last comments or anything that you guys want to add for our audience, or just before we sign off from our live cast today.
I'll jump in really quick because I actually have to run, but I am just so happy to be here, and I am thrilled to collaborate with so many other talented teachers. I have to say that Jason is one of the first people I found when I was looking at teaching English online, and I saw what he was doing with Fluency MC, and I was like, that's so cool. So it was really an inspiration, and all of the other teachers here are, I think, just very, very talented. And I think that's one of the strengths of the English Power Pack, is that we can teach, our students can learn from all our different approaches. So that's like, you know, I explain things different from Kevin, and he has a different approach than Todd and then Gabby. And so this is really, really special. It's something I look forward to every year, and I know my students do too. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye, but everyone else stay on the line because I'm sure the students want to see what y'all have to say.
Thank you so much, Shayna. It's a pleasure.
Bye, Shayna.
Bye, Shayna.
Bye.
And I'll say, yeah, I'm jumping in here, continuing kind of what Shayna just said. What's really cool about this product is there are, like she said, we have different styles of teaching. And why that's important is because all of you watching out there, all of you learners, will have your own unique style of learning. And if you're not really enjoying English right now, or if you're having a lot of problems improving or staying motivated, it's probably because you style, your own personal style of learning. Do you like to listen to this? Do you like to watch videos? Do you like nice explanations on grammar? Do you not like grammar? There's a lot of different ways that you can attack English. Through a product like this, you can see a lot of different styles, find what works for you, and then just get really focused on that style and enjoy the process more. So it's really important to spend time and to discover your own learning style with all of the different options out there. So experiment, try different things, and see what works for you. And I think the English Power Pack is a great way to start with that.
That's great. Thank you, Kevin. All right. So yeah, I am so excited to have everybody who is here as part of the English Power Pack. And yeah, just before we finish up, if you guys have any other words of encouragement, I would say, because I know as Kevin touched on, it can be tough, you know, working on your English, but follow what you are curious about. You know, there's a lot of different courses, and about that question, what order to take the courses in, I would suggest whatever you are most curious about, try that first. If you are super curious and motivated about improving your knowledge of phrasal verbs, then start there, because really your motivation will be very helpful for you to get started there. So whatever you're most curious about, just jump in. And the cool thing about the English Power Pack is you have all different kinds of courses. They're not all about phrasal verbs. They're not all about grammar. They're not all about listening, but you have a little of everything. That's what I love.
I think that's a really good point. Oh. just the fact that it is such a variety, because I think that is so important when you're learning a language. You know, I mean, if you just read your books, that's all you're going to get good at. You know, if you just listen, that's the only skill you're going to improve. So yeah, the variety that you get with the English Power Pack is just perfect. Exactly what you need right now.
And I was just going to say that somebody asked before about, you know, how long does it take to learn language? And I don't know, somebody before said that it's a lifelong thing, and it is. And that's a question that a lot of people ask me is, you know, when I meet somebody for the first time and they want to study, how long is it going to take me before I'm fluent? And, you know, just don't worry about that. Just keep going. I think that's the best advice that I could give. You know, don't put a time limit and it's, you know, and think, okay, I'm going to do it for 3 months and that's it. You know, you just keep going. And the more you keep going, because it is a lifelong process and it takes a long time to learn a language. And if you keep going with it and you stick to it, then you'll get it. And that's my last thought. I have a class right now. Okay. Gabby, thank you so much, guys. I'm so glad to be part of this. And see you guys soon.
See you soon. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Any other words of encouragement you guys want to toss in before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and add one. You know, when I was a student, actually I was a terrible student and I didn't like learning. And I design everything I do as a teacher based on sports. So I loved sports when I was younger, and I think the thing is you just always have to be on the field. You know, you always have to be using what you're going through as I think Jason talked about earlier about, you know, just, you know, doing it, living it, not just, you know, trying to practice it. And I think what we've done here is we've created all these materials where we say the word course, but really it's an environment. It's an English environment where you can use English in so many different ways. And I think that's really what's important. You know, the best soccer players are from Brazil, and the best basketball players are from the United States, and the best hockey players are from Canada. And the reason why, it's because the kids from those countries, they just start playing it at a very young age. They're just always in that environment. And when you're always in an environment, you're going to increase your chances to be really good at something. So that's what I think is really cool about this Power Pack, is that you have so many different environments that you can use English in different ways. And I've actually never seen anything like this before. So that's why I'm really excited to be a part of this. And I think it's a really good opportunity for students as well. Absolutely. That's such a good comparison. I love soccer myself, so I think that's a great comparison. So today we are talking about learning English a lot. You guys all gave a lot of great tips, and we're talking about how to learn and about how to put yourself in that environment. And I just want to let you know that inside the English Power Pack, there's so much practice. So it's different than our live cast today. Today we're talking about learning English, but inside the English Power Pack, you have tons of practice. And I started out today's live cast saying that the top question I get, one of the top questions I get from English learners is, how can I practice English? Well, here is your answer today. It is all of the practice inside the English Power Pack. And another question I get a lot, I'm sure you guys get this too, is how do I become fluent in English? And I think that, you know, one of your answers would probably be you need to practice, right? So if you want to improve your fluency, I think this is a really good opportunity. So I'm just thrilled to make this happen and to have you all as part of it. So I want to say a big thank you to you guys for being here. I want to say thank you to our viewers, our English learners. You guys are awesome. If you're here live or if you're watching this as a replay, thank you so much. And yeah, just thank you so much, you guys, for being here. I love that we can all kind of be in the same room, even though it's a virtual room. It's just cool to all be in the same place. So thank you so much.
It definitely is. Thanks so much, Gabby. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. We'll end there.
Yeah,
Have
great
an
time.
awesome day. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody, for coming.
Bye.
Bye.